So let me know once we're good to start. Do you have
Alright.
like a list of questions you're gonna ask just so we can prepare a little bit?
Um, I do not actually. Usually a lot of times I wing it, but hang on a sec.
Oh my god.
But anyway, we're fucking live. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. So I'm JP, commanding officer of the 160th SOAR.
Bacon or Baconator. I'm executive officer of 160th SOAR.
I am DJ Master. I am the PL of Rough Rider. I am DJ Master. I am the PL of Rough Rider.
All right, so it's actually been a minute since I talked to you guys last. For
That it has.
That is right.
the
It's been a
honestly,
fat minute.
I mean, back then shit wasn't as crazy, but shit happens. So, gents, if whoever wants to start, could you start us off from the beginning? Like, what was the first incident, and then how did that kind of snowball into what we seen?
So I don't think it was an initial isolated incident that led up to all of this kicking off. Um, I can go as far back as 1 or 2 years ago, um, with everything our unit has gone through, from like changing leadership, changing battalions, doing all that to what we've um, going through now. But it's always a constant neglect of aviation assets in every Milsim, like in every um, in any aviation aspect, right? Um, that kind of led to us always being told to fuck off, right? We'd have conflicts with someone else. We'd try to do everything by the book, and um, it always comes back to bite us in the ass. We always get told no or whatever it may be. Um, and then obviously the straw that broke the camel's back was uh, maybe like a month ago or so, the whole incident with the MPs and um, how Regiment Command handled that whole incident. That's when we were like, okay, well, maybe this isn't a place for us anymore.
What was the incident like? Uh, was it just like some?
So with the
How to
MPs,
put it? Yeah, was going to that? It's just what was the incident
so
and what
mm,
initially brought it on?
so the initially the incident, I don't remember the exact date, but I do remember it was during a Ranger Assessment Selection Program. Um, some of our guys were being arrested at RASP, at the gate. They were being searched, all this stuff. I remember DJ, First Lieutenant DJ, showed up to kind of see what was up. Obviously, the situation got a little heated. I didn't find this out till the day after, but yeah, he got asked to fall out. There was a bunch of confusion, and what really bothered me, because obviously, like, I'll handle my guys, I'll make sure they're straight. But a battalion commander of the HQ battalion uh, was ordering an S2 officer from a different battalion to negatively counsel one of my guys. Um, I didn't hear anything about this. I didn't get any incident reports. I didn't get any um, sort of sign from it. It was just I found out because of somebody who reached out to me and was like, "Hey, just so you're tracking, this is going on behind your back," um, and yeah,
So yeah, there were outside leaders trying to pretty much overstep their bounds and go and like try to negative counsel your men for trivial, if not stupid, reasons.
correct. And um, at the time, I don't know if you're tracking. He was major at the time, but Major He-Man, commanding officer of HQ battalion. Um, I tried to engage in DMs with him telling him to like, hey, what's going on? Why is this happening? And he just hit me with the good old, like, oh, talk to my COC, Colonel Brewer. And that's when I was like, okay. Passing all that, we went through, talked with Burr, tried to get a policy change just so we could alleviate the whole issue with the MPs and kind of move past it. And that just backfired immensely. It was constantly fighting with the MPs on on problems that they kept manufacturing. They were complaining about us not inviting them to War Officer Candidate School, even though me being the OIC at the time never got a DM from a single person in HQ battalion. They were also complaining about a transfer request that took 271 days, which in that transfer request, the individual didn't go through the proper procedure to transfer. And the person who put in the transfer request, being He-Man, never submitted or never tagged anybody in STB, our battalion at the time, or in the 160th COC. So it was just constantly fighting those problems that they were making up on the spot that weren't really problems, they were petty shit. They were building onto this. And then obviously we move on to what happened with the joke going around like hashtag free the four, with the MPs conspiring with another unit inside the 75th to dismantle the 160th.
So I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. One, why the hell would they just randomly go out after SOAR? Like, it does not make sense for a unit that's supposed to be a support unit in a
Right.
regiment to go after another support unit.
Right.
And like the steaming, thinking about that constantly, it's like this is like what shit we've seen in Battlefield size. Like, it's internal politics.
Right.
Someone didn't do something. Someone did something someone else didn't like, and now they got some fucking vendetta for the 160th, and pretty much it'll
So
start a whole domino effect.
I truly think there's a larger conspiracy, especially since 160th hasn't had any major issues like this past one in over a year that I've been in charge of our unit. I mean, rumors spread, and I've seen screenshots that I no longer have with me, but I can probably find out. Of the HQ battalion, obviously they wanted to change it to like an airborne military police aspect type of ordeal. In kicking moving everybody outside of the HQ battalion to make it an MP battalion. We can see this with the 88 mics. They got rid of the 88 mics. We can see this with the 13 FOTS strike.
Touch on. Because what the hell happened with the 88 mics? Who the hell just goes after motor pool?
Right. So the similar thing happened to us where they were trying to, it's not necessarily the same, but they were trying to do something, and you can probably find some people that are better informed on this topic, but they were trying to like approve a vehicle or get certified in a vehicle because they had the numbers to stand that element. They got into a dick measuring contest. Same thing happened to us where they were pretty much told to fuck off. Only difference that instead of telling them to fuck off, they just straight up got rid of them.
They really just couldn't really be.
Well, quite literally, what happened, Sloppy, is internal conflict, and then they were like, "All right, 88 Mike's gone." Sloppy? I mean salty. Jesus Christ, leave me alone.
That's the kind of one of the main things to hit.
You mentioned.
Okay.
Also, when basically they completely deleted 88 mics, they gave all of their guys options to transfer, but we weren't on that list. So I mean, I don't know.
So the writing was pretty much on the wall back then.
In that same conspiracy, I truly do think, because talking back to the DMs I had, they were talking about sending their own aviation unit. So I truly think they were trying to push everybody out of HQ so they can become this like support MP battalion with their own assets and their own capabilities.
For them to do what?
Airborne MPs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for them to do what during deployments? I see what the hell they do. They sit there, the guard, little teams.
Exactly.
They would do nothing.
Exactly.
I
Their
see.
their
You're
their
literally
goal
sitting
is to
there
sit
playing
around, do
fucking
nothing.
Revolver and jerking off while at the same
You
time. It's
know,
like, what the fuck?
they would stop you and be like, "What's your DoD ID? Let me have your weapon." That's it.
What the fuck kind of monkey shit we got going on?
I mean, that's,
I don't know in
that
real life. I
sounds
don't think
crazy.
MPs jump out of planes
They
or
don't.
helicopters.
As far as I know, they don't.
Like, it sounds crazy, but that's like the only logical explanation I found to it. Because what's the other explanation? I mean, we've always stayed to ourselves. Just let us do our job, and we'll let you do yours. But clearly, that was being violated in this last incident.
Now, I take it you guys seen the leaked videos from the 4 individuals that got discharged out of nowhere.
No,
The-
what were
the
those
3 to
about?
4.
Pretty much.
So you're talking about the 3 to 4, right?
Yeah. The what was it? Wispano and
Right.
the other 3. I forget.
Snorlord
Snorlaw, yeah.
and them guys. So, Snorlord had been talking to me at RASP because I was like, "Yo, what's going on with the MPs? Why are my guys being harassed?" And he said he has some videos and stuff. I never got the videos, but a couple days after, they were sitting at RASP, and one of the guys was going around invisible, tapping people's shoulder, kind of like trolling. And he stumbled across this group of MPs and Geronimo guys, right? So he kind of hangs around, and they start talking about, like, hey, do you want us to go after 160th guys? Do you want us to dismantle them?
That was the where they're talking like all standing around in a circle talking around
Right.
that industrial park. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Exactly. And then I remember once I got my hands on the video, I DM'd Bro and I was like, hey, just your tracking. Like, it's no longer a conspiracy. We got proof. Bird tells me, oh, they'll get banned by the end of the day. We'll get it sorted out. Turns out the 4 people that were responsible for bringing that video to light were the ones to get banned, not the individuals actually discussing dismantling the 160th, leading us to believe that it's regiments like in on the whole conspiracy thing.
Someone pointed out that because we reached out to Chosen, as you've seen. Hell, we even reached out to He-Man, and we're getting stonewalled by the CO and XO. Like, well, 75 doesn't work with M&N anymore. It's like, cool, that's fine, but we want at least a response. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, no sane unit goes out and does this or allows this shit to happen. I mean, no good leader lets that shit happen. And
Quite frankly, I don't think that's a leader. Period. You know, like a leader should stomp that shit out immediately. But to immediately ban people that are bringing evidence to you, that are spewing internal turmoil, it's kind of ridiculous. So, hence the fact why we don't want to be associated with them anymore.
right, and I even sent a couple of questions to Doc Wallace because the thing was that could get at least a straight answer somewhat. It'll at least be from him. I sent him good evening. I come wishing to ask some questions about the recent situation concerning HQ Battalion and Geronimo Battalion, and of course 160th SOAR. Question 1. Why was the OK given, as mentioned in the leaked video, to go after the 160th? 2. Was it your original idea to go after them, or was it someone else's? And the final one was, did you start all of this, and if so, why? We actually got a response from him that's actually contrary to fucking. I say contrary to what. It's kind of more the same, but at least he gives a little more insights. Like, air quotes, 75 no longer works with Eminem, end quote. I mean, don't disrespect, just following protocol and directives. So, apparently,
Oh,
they already got.
let me touch up on that. I want to touch up on that. If he's giving you the it's just protocol, he's completely avoiding the question. Fun fact, and I'm pretty sure you know this, Salty. But whenever Doc answers you by saying it's I'm only following orders or it's only protocol, he's completely avoiding you and not talking to you. That's his manipulation tactic. We've worked with it far too long to see that is he is literally just stonewalling you. He's going to give you no further info, and he's avoiding his what's the word? His oh my god, I'm forgetting the word for it. Responsibility. He's avoiding his responsibility of what he did. He is he is the cause of what happened. Period. Like there's no question about it. But Doc is one of the reasons why what we did is what we did. And if he's not going to have any accountability or like just it's insane. It boggles my mind.
Say someone takes and
Like
show
for their
some
actions,
integrity,
like,
because this, from what I've
yes,
seen, like the whole situation, all you have to do is like we even asked He-Man, it's like, hey, what's going on? He said if he was to just come out and say, look, we went out there because we
do you
had
know
an
about
initiative.
He-Man's discharge or not discharge? Him resigning and then immediately complaining and getting his way and coming back immediately in the span of 2 hours.
Oh, so he never even stepped down then.
No, never. He was still the rank of major for the entire process, and he threw out his resignation, outing to our chain of command brewer, chosen the top 5, going, "Yep, guys, I don't want to do this anymore," and he quote unquote in quotations leaves, but he never did. He was there the entire
The whole
time.
thing was a stunt for attention.
It was a whole stunt.
Yeah. The whole thing was a stunt for him to try to get his way.
The whole thing. It's ridiculous. It is actually, there is no accountability for anyone's actions. Command doesn't listen, and we gotten to a point where we realized that this unit, or not unit, this regiment is not worth it. It's just toxic.
Jesus Christ. Okay, apparently, according to Grunt 6, he's S3 now, or regimental S3. I never understood
Yeah.
army lingo.
They're giving him roles because he's buddy with top 5. Because top 5 apparently likes He-Man. But, knowing them, they all fucking manipulate people to get their own way. And whenever people call them out on their bullshit, they take no accountability for their actions. And everyone else suffers for it. And then the person that brings it up to attention or starts, like, talking to them about reason, because we've had people talk reason, and we've been stonewalled by Doc Wallace going, I'm only following orders and its protocol. But he's sidestepping the real issue. It's ridiculous.
And honestly, Salty, I mean, we've reached out multiple times to resolve this professionally and quarterly with everybody. Um, and just like you, I mean, we were stonewalled back to back. And leading to that, or after rather, that He-Man threatening to step down and all that, we even got blacklisted from RASP. We were told, oh, the job you've been doing for over a year, yeah, you're not doing that anymore. Good luck.
They blacklisted us.
Correct. And I mean, at that point, I got into a VC with Brewer, being like, hey, the guys aren't happy. They're wanting to leave. At that point, he pretty much told me, like, just wait it out, just like deflecting the real issue. I was trying to kind of give him a heads up, like, hey,
that's the kind of shit that kills a unit. Like, eventually, everyone. Yeah, people outside fucking SOAR seeing all this shit and getting in an uproar. Like people in the
100%.
fucking people in 75th seeing this shit. It's like, yeah, like people are paying attention more than you think.
100%. And I don't know if you're tracking initially before the 160th kind of stepped away from the 75th. I actually left the 75th for a couple days. During that time, like, if it's happening constantly and there's multiple issues, you must think that you're the issue, right? So in my head, I was like, if I step down, hopefully they leave my guys alone and let them do their job. And then after all that, he's, you know,
I mean, I can explain
Doc
on that.
Wallace was, yeah, you guys were there, but like Doc
Yeah.
Wallace was talking shit, and it
And
just
let me
kept
explain
going.
on that, JP.
All right, you're good.
Because, I mean, so we have, Squid, do you know about the civil discourse bar? Or is that new to you?
Civil, that's probably new to me.
Okay, so basically, in regiment server, there's a chat where all command elements, and a couple like E6s or 7s and higher get a chat called civil discourse. Essentially, you can talk about issues, or like if you need help on something, or if you guys want training, whatever. And 90% of the time, it's just arguing, obviously, and dick measuring contests. So after JP took his step down, well, actually no, Florida actually posted a little paragraph, like it was like it was a little question, just stating his view on the events that were happening, and he just wanted an answer for it. And Doc Wallace, with his ultra wide wisdom, hits us with a backhanded insult and brings up the old days of SOAR when we used to be with under Vieira, saying how 160th used to be way better under Vieira, Chosen, and my leadership. And me and Florida ended up arguing with Doc Wallace the whole time about him chatting shit or talking shit about our major that just left. And why wouldn't he bring up these concerns when JP was still here? So he kept chatting shit, and we kept like giving him reason, as well as our STB guys, like our S2s, were also being like, "Hey, this is not cool, dude. Why are you chatting all this?" And it got to a point where he brought out his ultimate weapon. I'm just following orders, and we dug deeper into our trench, saying you are avoiding the question. You are not taking accountability for your actions. It's ridiculous, and this shouldn't happen with the power that you are in, with the position you are in. You should be taking accountability and just say, "Hey, guys, I fucked up. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me." But he wouldn't. He dug his heels in, and he kept saying shit. And at the end of the road, we got tired of it. I'm not gonna sit here and have somebody badmouth a major who not only built up his unit from 10 guys, but to have the respect of almost 90 plus people. You're not going to say that, because I know a lot of people that don't respect you, and clearly I can see why. But a clear, like, it all stemmed from a certain question. Florida has it, I'm pretty sure, but I don't have the screenshot on me. But it was just a simple question about why this shit was going on, or can someone elaborate more? And it turned into a whole shit show out of nowhere. And it got to a point where we didn't want to be a part of it. We didn't like it. We didn't like the fucking toxic atmosphere. They're chatting shit. We didn't want to be a part of it. It was. I mean, I guess that's just it from my side. I don't know, JP. Did you hear anything else from Florida?
From the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're referring to the question that he asked?
Yeah. Did you get a picture of his question that he asked? Because I know for a fact somebody in civil. Oh, forgot to mention. So while we were chatting shit and it all died down, in the midst of that dying down, we were getting some progress into talking about the MPs, or talking to MP command. Bacon, you were there about that, right?
I can talk about that.
Yeah, you get that.
So this was soon after JP stepped down. I actually got a bunch of messages from people all over the regiment congratulating me on my new position, which I thought was weird, because a lot of these were people that I had never talked to in the regiment.
You talking like higher up, or like higher ranking officers?
Yeah, people from regimental leadership, or leadership in other battalions that I didn't really know. I'd spoke to them once or twice, but I got a bunch of congratulations, which I thought was weird. But the the problem still persisted. There was that civil discourse channel that DJ's talked about in JP as well, which I thought was just super unproductive because, I mean, in the real army or real military or even a corporate business setting, you can imagine like you don't do that because there were people just saying whatever they wanted to say without repercussions. And at first, it sounds like a great thing, let people speak their minds, but the whole thing was vile and nasty, and then it made the tension much worse. So,
And that's the weird thing.
with
So
all
the CEO was in the army, but he
yeah,
he's let trying to seemingly a military unit, an army unit, but he's let it degrade to a point where it is what it is right now.
well, I
That's
don't think that channel was made by him, but I mean, he did let it exist.
You should mention that as you were trying to make progress
Yeah.
in
I know,
that chat.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
So, it got really bad. The chats it was awful. I mean, it looked bad for everyone involved. So I told everyone within SOAR, don't participate in it. Don't worry about getting the last word. This looks really bad for everyone
DJ
involved.
come out with a fucking steel chair for no reason.
Well, I had
Good.
everyone. I told everyone, we're gonna act professional. They can act like children, but we're gonna act professional, not engage in this sort of behavior. So that's what happened for most of that day. I was at work because a lot of people in there don't have jobs, but some of us do. But I saw it at work, and
work too when it was going on.
I was saying, "Oh, y'all gotta stop this." So had them stop, and it got to a point where I was talking to. I'm not gonna name specific names and all this, but the leadership from the military police company reached out to me. And I reached out to him, and then the whole idea was, hey, this is kind of stupid. Like, why? Because we were kind of thinking the same thing. Like this, we're arguing over the dumbest things ever. Is it really that big of a deal? We're just trying to play a video game. Like, is it really that deep? So it was actually, and at this point, we were still barred. No 160th personnel were allowed to attend RASP. Which I mean was kind of a double-edged sword because yeah, it sucks because RASP in the 75th is a big part of the culture of that regiment.
Plus,
but
don't they also they teach fucking air assault during RAS?
right, well,
Who the hell's
when they told us, I assume the RASP cadre. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming the RASP cadre. But I talked to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll get y'all set up. You guys can come, and I'll vouch for you and First Sergeant Florida Man. You guys can come in, visit RASP. Me and you will chat in the command tent or whatever. It'll be fine. We'll just have a meeting. No big deal." Now, that was set for about an hour or two. And then I was informed that his HQ battalion leadership, I don't know exactly who, came to this decision. It could have been their commanding officer, He-Man. It could have been their executive officer. I don't know. Someone from their battalion leadership threatened Article 15s or discharges if they were to try to reach out to 160th. So at that point, I was frustrated because I'm thinking, we have a solution, but you don't want the solution. You want this to persist. You want
They don't
this
want the solution
division
unless they
to
come up with it, and if someone else is coming up with it, it makes them look bad.
yeah.
That's
Well,
pretty
and
much it.
I didn't think that that would be it. I thought that and I'm not going to go too deep into this because I don't think that this was a lot of people in the same room discussing this, but I do think that it was in the best interest, or what they believe to be the best interest of HQ Battalion, for there to still be problems with 160th. No, I don't think that there was some me personally, I don't think there was some grand big conspiracy. It might have just been that they really didn't like us, for whatever reason. But it became clear to me that their battalion leadership was actively trying to prevent this whole stupid situation from being squashed. So yeah, after that,
Their battalion.
their battalion leadership. Yep. So
Oh, there.
the
I think so.
the
Like
milits.
the number three battalion. I was like, what the fuck?
No, so it was the military police that we initially set up a meeting, and then their battalion leadership over them said, "Hey, if you talk to any of them, we're gonna punish you."
No, just to say, fuck it, bet. Talk to you guys anyway.
Well,
This
I
the
mean,
whole
it's
situation made them and Geronimo look like a bunch of asses.
They sent out, what was it, a statement that said if you talk to anybody that's an STB, you are subject to an Article 15 immediately.
Under what guise?
right.
I don't know.
And it might just be a difference between Special Troops Battalion and Headquarters Battalion, and just the different dynamic.
I mean, shit, you
And
can talk
Special
to them
Troops
without
Battalion,
telling anyone you talk to them.
yeah, but I mean, the environment in Special Troops Battalion was really productive. It was not
Was
toxic.
amazing.
They let us talk to each other like adults. They treated us like adults, but I don't think that was the same in Headquarters Battalion. I don't know
No.
because I haven't been in Headquarters Battalion in over a year,
Hey, look,
and the leadership
yeah.
was all different.
I mean, we could
But
talk about the atmosphere all day.
I think it was different. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but at that point, I kind of realized, hey, this battalion is trying to actively stir up more and more problems and avoid solutions. And you know, at this point, I'm burnt out of this. I'm thinking I'm just wanting to play Arma Reforger, fly helicopters on there. I'm not here for this. I have a day job. I don't get paid for this. And previously, the day or
Yeah, like,
1 or 2 days before,
I've seen this fucking, seen all this toxic shit back in the military, and some of us who were in the military seeing this in a goddamn video game. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, it questions. It brings up the question: what the hell is the point if you got folks trying to out army the army? And I mean, I still get a kick out of the fucking inebriation policy. That shit was hilarious.
right? Yeah, well, that one didn't last long.
That one was really funny. STB had a
that
party
one.
over that one.
I
We were
think the
all
whole
getting
regiment
hammered.
did, yeah.
It's like, what
But
the fuck? It's like, did you not even have the foresight to even read it all the way through? It's like, because I know damn well I've seen on multiple occasions the CEO fucking, it's like if you drop, what is it, $5, he takes a shot at, or hit a
yeah,
swig of fucking Crown Apple, and that dude, someone dropped, I'm not even make this shit up. It was a Japanese name. He dropped fucking $400 on Brewer just to do
I've seen
fucking
people drop like
drinks.
300 before.
And he was like, and he was at fucking, it was like RAS or some other training when he was doing all this shit. Like, my guy, what the fuck? I mean, I get drunk sometimes, but Jesus Christ, I have standards.
The whole thought of that fucking stupid little alcohol thing was, who are they to tell real people in real life to do what they can and can't do in their house?
Like,
it was really funny.
I was cracking those. I was saying, like, dude, you really gonna come to my house and force me not to drink? Like,
sorry, MPs. I blew like a .14, dude. I'm out of my mind right now. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, we've had even discussions like that before, because like we've had people who like get super high and then fly and stuff, but it's, my opinion was always, if someone
Can't fly
gets
if you're not
drunk
high.
and is disruptive at RASP, kick them out for being disruptive. Don't say, "Oh, you were drinking," because you can't really enforce that.
Stop resisting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
our motto's gonna be
they'll
can't fly if we're not high.
They'll just shoot you in the back when you're running away. I mean,
Yeah, like they did with me.
Yeah,
To,
go into that shit. Because I
I'll,
saw the
I'll,
video,
I
but I
can
never
finish
heard the
up this.
audio.
Yeah, let
Where
Yeah,
we
bring
were
up
going
the
first,
bad
but,
memories, JP, please.
So we were at that point. To get back to what happened that day, I was, we were fed up, and JP had just left, and I'm thinking, now I really don't want to be here. Like, this is just toxic. I don't get paid for this. I just want to fly helicopters, and I'm thinking, well, if I feel this way, a lot of other people probably feel the same way inside of our unit. So we held a meeting that night, and it was kind of just kind of an open floor meeting. We let everyone talk. And it was kind of just wanting to gauge where everyone's at. Would you guys want to leave, make our own thing? We knew we had to be fast because word spreads quick and Brewer would shut that shit down. So yeah, we went in there and everyone at the meeting, pretty much everyone actually, said, yeah, we're all for leaving. So that's what we decided to do that night. So we just left all the servers. And yeah, it
Well,
was
actually got
split. It wasn't
banned,
as
actually.
some people who didn't leave got banned, but we told them to leave.
We,
I saw.
But it was
some
messy
shit
at some points, but it was, I mean, that was to be expected. And we retained probably, I'd say about
90%.
between
We only
no,
lost,
not
I think,
90%.
10%.
I'd say
Are
it's
you
probably
sure?
about 2/3 to 3/4 of
Did see.
personnel we held on to.
Not true. We had 90 when we left, and now we have like 86.
We had over 100 when we left, dude.
You sure?
Yeah. But anyways, it was. I
Probably
mean, it was
people who
the.
actually see you like shit. I
But we
actually
held on to most of the critical leadership because I mean we held on to all the company leadership, including S3, S1. We held on to all the platoon leadership. We only
all
lost.
the
I
people
mean,
in charge of our selection, all the people in charge of flight school, all the people, all of that.
yeah. I mean, the people who did leave, most of them were. I mean, we didn't really have to like replace them in terms of anything
Not
other
active.
than their MOS. And most people who left were just like they just joined in. They're like, I don't get what's going on. I'm just gonna go B11 bang bang, which was fair. Because I mean they didn't have a stake in it. But I'll let you guys go into more about DJ getting shot in the back because that is a funny story.
Real quick as
Fuck.
well, in the
Fuck you.
topics, Salty Squid, I sent you some clips. I don't know if you want to show them on the stream for the people watching.
Give me a sec. Excuse me.
Was it Free the Four or?
No, it was DJ getting shot in the fucking back.
Of fucking course it was, dude. I can run through the process. You want me to run through my process?
Also, real quick, just before you get into it, I do want to note that in that whole ordeal, obviously, if you show the clips, the people watching will be able to form their own opinion. But in the reports that the MP submitted, I mean, they're just faulty.
Half-ass, pretty much.
Not even half-ass. It was just to switch the narrative in their favor. And then when you look at the video and compare them to the reports that were submitted in HQ Battalion, it just doesn't add up.
I can also lead you to the first-person experience and the motherfucker who's getting tased.
That is.
I can word for word say what I was saying. Did you send the 3-minute clip or did you cut it?
Yeah, I sent the whole clip. But also the
I
thing
can
is,
run
like,
through the
DJ,
whole
if
process.
you say something, it can be left up to like your experience or their interpretation. Yeah, they got audio.
Wait, there's audio?
Yeah, there's audio on theirs.
On there. Of course, theirs has audio. I recorded on Xbox. They don't like me.
Oh, okay. The one that shows like it's your third person's perspective.
Of course, theirs has audio. I recorded
Yeah,
on
that one
Xbox.
doesn't have audio.
They don't like. Yeah, that one has
I'm just
no
watching
audio.
the stream on the speaker.
All right.
Um.
Who is that? Show us the T. All right, I'll fucking show you the T.
Yeah, so Rasputia was one of our guys. Unfortunately, like he was leaving regardless, even if the we split off. So I mean, what he did wasn't affiliated with one Sitiev. He did that on his own accord, based on his own feelings, and he's no longer associated with us.
Yeah, he is no longer with us. We told him not to do anything fucking stupid, but he didn't listen, and now he's no longer a part of our unit.
I mean, he's.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna rag on him too much because I did work with him when I was in 160. It's like he is
Mhm.
British.
I mean, he is a cool guy, but what he did, you know. It's like if Michael Jackson was a cannibal, you know. He is the king of pop, but you know, he did eat people.
Wait, what?
What? Anyways, we can carry on.
So, DJ, walk us through it.
You want me to pull out my clip so I can watch it side by side?
I'm about to
That's what
try
I'm
and
gonna do.
work on the post it on X.
Let me see if I can find it in my camera roll.
You can't
Oh,
share it
here
on
it
you
is.
can't share it on Streamlabs.
I'm still fucking learning this shit.
So you gotta add another source that's gonna be a capture. Or are you capturing your Discord screen
Yeah,
on
like I see
Streamlabs?
the profile pics of Bacon,
Yeah,
DJ,
yeah.
myself, and you.
In that same screen, just hit the backspace and go into our chat, and you can like click on the video on the same screen that you have our profile pictures up on. Oh my god, my cat just hopped my fucking PC. Oh, there goes my vape.
No, my vape. Wait, shit. Okay, there it goes. Right. Mickey, I did join the 160th. That was fucking. I was in the 160. I fucking love that shit.
Excuse me. So are you showing the clip?
I'm working on it.
Oh, I love technical issues, dude. I can run you through the whole 3 minute clip. It is
Can you send
well.
me? I know you don't want to like. I respect it if you don't, but if you send me the stream key, I can pull it up.
Screen key.
He's trying to steal your info, dude. He's trying to steal your info.
Oh no.
He could put porn
Leak
on your
it.
stream, dude.
I would.
I'm gonna need about 350.
350? Nah, more like 50.
Shut the fuck. Oh shit. Wait, you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought something should happen.
So, how's the weather in the Milsim, guys?
Currently cloudy with a chance of bullshit.
Yeah. You know, I was really ducking and covering from all the drama. You know.
Yeah,
Okay,
clearly
fuck.
not good enough because you got shot in the fucking back.
Alright,
All right,
so,
listen. You know, a couple strays come here and there. Okay. You win some, you lose some.
Alright, so I'm working on this shit. Fucking Christ, Mickey. Sorry for the technical delays, ladies and gentlemen, but you will see the videos.
Hurry up, Grandpa.
Fuck you.
I don't want to do this anymore, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. Alright, so we're watching the video. Just
Oh, there we
from
go.
DJ's perspective.
Oh, you cut the
Is video
clip.
playing?
Oh fuck! God damn.
Yeah. No, the clip's fine. I mean, it's a cut version of the clip of me looking for a box because I wanted to
Dude,
get my
that's what
battle
you
rattle.
sent me, dude.
No, Bacon should have sent you the full 3-minute clip.
No, I
The
got
3-minute
the
clip starts
legit,
with
like,
me in
two
the
something.
bird. That's me getting fucking absolutely fucking manhandled for no reason. So
Yeah, that one.
essentially, what I was
There
doing,
you
I was
go.
looking
There we
for
go.
a
There we go.
box.
Shut up.
What?
Video
It's
playing.
not like
Movie
it's
time.
not like we can hear it anyways.
That is true.
Yeah,
There's no audio on it.
that's the downfall for recording.
I'm
on
trying to
first
fucking
person.
elaborate. You know?
Yes. Go yap.
So what?
I mean,
Okay,
essentially,
here it goes.
do you want me to tell you what I was doing?
And by now they're already pointing. Oh, there it fucking goes.
Yep.
I'm
Was a
watching the video on
non-lethal,
the
wasn't it?
stream, so like, so it sounds like a gunshot, but I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, they're saying it was a non-lethal, but on the DJ's perspective, it sounds like a gunshot.
Okay, and here.
I mean, I can run you through my processes of thinking, guys, but you know, the fuck me, I guess.
There's gonna be a delay, DJ, because you're watching it on the stream. There's gonna be like a 30-second delay on whatever you say.
I mean, I can talk about all what happened. If you're watching the cut stream, essentially the thing starts with me looking through, scummaging through boxes, but the boxes that they had down already were only for the recruits or the people in RASP, I guess. And before all that, the context is we were flying around and we knew we had personnel, so we got our helicopters and flew over to the airport to practice flying with the Chinook in a formation. So I was flying the Chinook for a little bit, and I had another pilot with me who was shadowing me in a formation with the Chinook, because it was obviously the Chinook fucking sucks and it's so slow. Or no, actually it's fast, but it handles like shit. You know what I'm saying. But we were doing a formation with it, and we were just trying to maintain it so we can do something cool when RASP ends, so we can do a little flyover. And then once that shit ends, we were gonna do a pinnacle, or I was gonna do a pinnacle with with our guys and fix it before any of that shit or after that shit happened. But leading to the context of that, I was flying in my garrison uniform. I didn't want to fly in garrison. I wanted to get my battle rattle. So I went around looking for boxes, and I couldn't find any boxes that had any of our our shit in it, any of our uniforms or helmets that I wanted or needed. And so I was like, what the fuck? I can't find anything. People offered to drop me their kit, but I didn't want their kit. I just wanted to pick up I want to make my own because I have all my certain stuff in it. So I run over to the MP gate. I hop the MP gate, and I run through to their box, and I rummage through it. Don't find what I'm looking for. So I run. Already got cleared. Context is I already got cleared to hop the gate already before. So I run back to hop the gate again, and I'm running towards the helicopter. That's when they tased me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, hello? Like, wasn't I already cleared? Are you serious? On the floor. And I'm like, write your report, dude. Do it. Just write your report, because this is fucking ridiculous, because it's going up the chain, because this is fucking stupid. Write your report. I don't care. Write your report. So kept saying all that shit because in my eyes they already cleared me and just fucking tased me for no reason. And just stood there, listened to their fucking bullshit explanation, and just walked away. Because I wasn't dealing with that. I have 4 guys to pick up, petty bullshit. And later throughout the day, that didn't happen again. I mean, we ended up doing our pinnacle in the Chinook and picked up those guys. But, I mean, that's really what ended up happening is I hopped the gate already previously getting cleared. They told me that every time you go back in the MP zone that you have to get re-cleared. And I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous if I was just cleared like 20 minutes ago. So they're like, yeah, Brewer does it, or the exceptions are Brewer and like top 5, but everyone else has to do it. And I'm just like, dude, are you serious? I mean, so that's really what ended up happening.
I mean, it's all petty shit. Cause like I can bet $100 if a cadre were to do that, they would just let him through. But just because he's got a maroon beret on and he's one sits here, they're gonna go ahead and escalate the situation.
I mean, what do they got? Anything else better to do? Apparently no.
I mean, no, I mean they harass Maroon Berets and think we're threats, but you know, I guess they're just wet napkins, dude. At the end of the day.
Dude, I would have been so happy to what Mickey Mouse just said. Like, I would have been so happy if one sits had just laid heat onto the MPs. But obviously, no bueno.
Yeah, I actually asked that same question.
I mean, I told my guys, like, after the policy got passed that we were able to use our weapons, like, if an MP continues to harass you and threatens to take your weapons, just say, like, if you
Yeah.
attempt to take my weapons, I will take that as an act of aggression and I will then fulfill my duties and protect my airframe.
Exactly. And, you know, since I have to keep my guys busy and look busy, at that time before it get the tasing incident, they weren't providing security for our birds. Point blank period. So, you know, the whole point of the MPs is to provide security and safety for RASP, but they weren't providing security for our helicopters. And they then implemented the new rule of taking everybody's weapons when there are enemies around, which doesn't make a lot of sense. If there are enemies at the front gate and there are personnel that are trained probably more than you are in a capability to defend their airframe, maybe you should let them have their weapons. But they wouldn't let us have our weapons, and to a point we took it as, hey, you know what? We're going to get our weapons back because we have to provide security for our helicopters. But they backhanded us and said, but no one's going to attack RASP when not even once in a blue moon, every other RASP they get attacked by AI and get smoked. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'd rather trust the fucking boys in First Bat, the fucking battalion I came from, than trust
HQ,
fucking
yeah.
people that get smoked by goddamn AIs fucking HQ, it seems.
Also, like in that same aspect, going back to like regiment's role in it. I mean, every time we tried and sort something out with regiment after it didn't work with HQ, they would always like throw some bullshit at us. Like I remember I was talking to Chosen because he's for whatever reason got really involved with the whole matter. He was like, "Oh, well, you guys don't need weapons because it's a military and a training installation." So you're telling me that a military installation is in the middle of op4 country constantly getting attacked by fucking Russians and I'm not allowed to have my weapons? Like, you get that, like, you're making shit up to make your case and you're looking like a fucking fool while you're at it, you know?
Right. Someone pointed this out to me a little bit like a few days ago that this would probably span from what was it? Who was the guy? Who was the guy's name? Before who was the CL before you?
Vera?
Yeah, someone said like either chosen because that was apparently Chosen's buddy.
Yes.
Ever
Well, I can
since
explain. Well,
that,
we can all explain.
okay.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, Vera was just. Oh, JP, you got it. You knew him. Sorry, my bad.
So like I don't want to throw a lot of shade, right? But this is dating back over a year ago. Whenever we one CCS went from the battalions and they all went to HQ battalion. VR assumed the position of CO. I was the platoon sergeant for Draco at the time. I quickly moved up to PL because our PL moved up, and then he was like an absent father, and everybody in Draco disappeared. Shit happened. I then moved up to that. So essentially, it became a toxic environment under toxic leadership. Um, People were leaving left and right. People were threatening to leave. I brought all this up to the current battalion commander at the time. It got shrugged off. Um, and then Vieira left for like 6 hours, not even, came back. Everything is normal. And I was like, well, you're just adding fuel to the fire. Anyways, long story short, I got forced out of my position. People threatened to leave, and we stood up our own 101st like close air support unit in STB. Um, So
Wait,
to give
wasn't that
you some
the
backstory,
fighter wing?
no, 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 no. 101st was like an Apache squadron.
Oh, okay. So
So
that
yeah,
actually got shut down. I was kind of a little bummed out, but the mods were
it
shit.
didn't get shut down. It's just that Vieira couldn't handle the pressure, and then he dipped, leaving everybody else behind,
No,
and
no,
they ended up coming
I was
over
talking
to us.
about the fighter wing, like
Oh, the
the rough
fighter
the
wing, yeah.
F-18s and all that shit.
hmm I mean, but there's only so much you can do with like mods being taken away, right? But
Depending on like what mod crashes the server, what doesn't.
exactly. To continue on to the relationship with Vieira and Chosen. So Vieira and Chosen were really close from when Vieira came to the Milsim. Um, whenever Vieira came to the Milsim, he didn't go through an enlisted route. He didn't do anything. It was an outcome of a merge. He just came in straight as a CW2,
What unit
working
was he
under
from?
Chosen.
Do you know?
I don't recall, but I mean, I've heard things. I don't know if they're fact. I've heard that he got kicked out of that unit and he brought like his band of mischiefs. I've heard different things. I just don't know what's true regarding that previous unit. But like, he was really close with Chosen. I mean, even when Vieira was absent, Chosen used to hang out with 160th because Chosen was one of the people that initially started 160th in the 75th. Um, After the whole fallout with Vieira and he left to the 82nd and did all that, um, you know, Chosen just never went to 160th, never gave any guidance to us. As a matter of fact, like he would only get involved whenever we did something that escalated, and then he would step up and like pull rank and be like, "Oh, well, you're gonna do this," and we're like, "No." But that kind of goes into the relationship between Chosen and Vieira, and yeah, I mean, it was real unfortunate what happened with Vieira, but I mean, it was bound to happen regardless.
I mean, you can circle back to then what Doc Wallace said about Vieira and his leadership, saying it was amazing, and but long story short, you saw how that happened. There, if once Vieira stayed and whatever guys left under him, wasn't
I
really
mean,
a good leader.
Vieira had the opportunity to prove himself as a company commander,
Never
and
did.
I mean, he never did a good enough job to sustain that.
He was just an asshole. He was a boss man. He was never a leader in the first place.
I mean, whenever we were in HQ, I mean, we didn't do anything because other battalions refused to work with us because of the era. So for Doc Wallace to come over saying like, "Oh, 160th was better," it's just a blatant lie.
That
160th was
sounds
like
like it was
15
kind of
people.
like that comment alone sounds like it was an
hmm
out of touch contact
It
comment.
was also an uneducated comment because if you don't know what the fuck happened, why are you
Jesus
like
Christ!
talking about it? You know?
Look at it. Just reading the chat while you're.
Yeah, they're leaking all this shit.
God damn. Fucking. I mean, I'm not sure if you, JP, if you follow us on Twitter, but
hmm
like when we announced that we were like having you guys on the stream tonight, we even we made another extend invitation to uh 75th Colonel Brewer, Colonel Chosen, CLC. Like we we did everything we can to at least get them to say, hey, what's going on? Like, but I mean, from what I seen when
I
I was
mean, and
part
it,
of that group
hmm
to
yeah.
what I'm seeing on the outside, because it's no accountability, no integrity, no one wants to take responsibility because they're afraid they might lose their position. I mean, shit. I got I was the highest. That guy was sergeant. I was going out there dicking around. I'm not. I can't really take that crap stuff serious. The way that shit's running. But like, while I was there, I saw shit that if you were to see it in the fucking military, your ass will be going like written up. Fucking Navy, you got like counseling chits. You get a certain amount of counseling chits. You go up to fucking DRB, disciplinary review board. That's pretty much where all the chiefs, senior chiefs, master chiefs, or senior chiefs master, and pretty much they just grill you. It's like I saw fucking fraternization, dude. It's like that. I mean, I get on out like off hours. It's a video game. You want to just shoot shit with your buddies or whatnot. Like you might join at the same time, but you got fast tracked to be an officer and they're still enlisted, so on and so forth. Like I could get that, but like when it's on hours, or like when you're on duty doing shit and you're still doing the same shit that can get someone like get you in trouble if you were an actual officer and that person was lowly enlisted. Like shit, man, way to simulate the fucking military. Who's actually no, be fucking in the fair room. But I said my piece. That's one thing that's always bothered me about that unit is the amount of shit people can get away with.
I mean, that's kind of everything that led, and it also has to do a lot with like hypocrisy. Talking about I can't pronounce that word, but like
Hypocrisy.
intermingling with other people. Um, no,
You
no,
mean
but like fraternization. There we go.
right?
I mean, I've seen it with like I've seen people get banned over it, but then I've seen people
Dude, I got
meet
like
up,
I'll
fuck
admit,
IRL, and just chill out and not have a scratch on them,
dude,
and get
like I'll
pregnant
admit,
over it
like
as
I
well.
there was times where when I was a corporal, I because I had access to first, second, and third battalion, um, and fourth battalion Discord back when that was like short lived. Um, there'll be times at night where I'll just go into fucking third bat's CO's office or XO's office when they're in there and just shoot shit. You know, act like we're all chummy. It's like, and while that's going on, I'm thinking to myself like, there ain't no fucking way I'm getting away with this shit. There were everywhere else, like any other unit in the Milsim community, you get called on the spot for that shit.
Mm.
But I'd never heard that shit. Like, what? And it was something else. That's what I was much that I'll say about it.
I mean, I
So
don't think. What's up? Sorry.
I'll let you go ahead. Let you say
I
piece.
was just gonna say, I don't think we have any plans on working with the 75th in the future. I mean, we've been focusing recently on picking up other units and working with them and kind of building rapport along the community to kind of, you know, how can I put it?
I can say
I
that
was it.
the great part of being kind of more independent now is we always existed just to serve the Rangers, um, which there's some real life credibility to that, but from the perspective that the regiment had, a lot of them, if they are prior military or have any kind of knowledge of how the army works, almost all of them are just infantry guys. So they wouldn't really they didn't realize how much went into aviation and how, in my opinion at least, it's a lot more complicated than infantry work. Like I'll use this as an example. So you can join the Ranger Regiment, go to RASP, get deployed in a relatively short amount of time. But the whole process of like entry, rotary wing, that whole process can take up to like a year and a half. And that's before you even get assigned your specific airframe. That's just to get in the door as a pilot. There's a lot more that goes on. It's a lot more complicated. But I think that
You
was
gotta
something
go
that
you gotta go through selection, of course, like for the job, and even when
right.
you do
Well, and
get selected
for
for the job, like you graduate all that shit. They send you to SEER
right,
or
and
SAS.
with SOAR in real life, the way it is like you can, if you qualify, you can anyone watching this, you can go and join the Rangers immediately. If you can pass their physical stuff, you go to RASP, you're a Ranger, you're deployed very short amount of time. That's not the same thing with aviation, and that's not the same thing with SOAR at all. Because SOAR, if you're a pilot at least, you actually can get in faster enlisted route. But if you're a pilot, you already have to have a lot of flight time in the Army before you can even try out. But anyways, all that's being said is it's a lot. Aviation's a lot more complicated, and we weren't given the proper resources to do our job effectively for them. And then they blame us for it usually.
And I'll be honest, I'm not like on part as I sound biased, but when it comes to like not having the resources like during deployments, as I'm reading what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like
part of yeah.
Yeah, like I could back that shit up because why the fuck would you go out and make all this like asset requests, say, hey, we want SOAR there, and then you have us there, but you don't use this. Like most we use is like uh most what we do is reinserts. We would do
Right.
that,
And
and that's if they're not already TP'd to the fucking unit. And we saw like I've seen that happen many times. Like hell, we got shot down. I was in a couple of birds that got shot down. We made crash landing. One was on the I don't want to say it was Kunar. Is that other one that we had to fight the Taliban on?
NSA,
I think
Fallujah,
so. I don't remember the name exactly because I think
Benghazi.
DJ was the pilot because
okay,
we
shoot.
lost the tail rotor and we ended up crashing landing in a fucking industrial complex, and then you're telling her like to fly it. Like we even called out a fucking fallen angel, and you're like I think John was trying to work on something like sending a QR off to pick us up, but someone came on the radio saying just fly it over there without like and trying to hover in there, trying to keep it from spinning. I mean, fuck, and the bird's automatically repaired. I mean, hell, we that map where they fought the cartels. Fucking, we got shot down. What was it? A main rotor fell, but we weren't too high to where we hit the ground. We blew up. Just like we hit the ground, fucking, we skirted. And we're in the middle of a fucking street. All of a sudden, they fix that shit. Like they GM'd the fucking bird to be fixed. It's like, where's the fucking realism? It's like,
And that's I don't have a specific gripe with a specific person. That was just kind of a thing where, and it's again, I think it's just a thing that a lot of them weren't familiar with the Army aviation side of things. So us going down was not even a thing to RP to them. It was kind of just an inconvenience. Like, oh, you're all right back. Like, come on, this kind of we weren't
the
we
only
didn't.
time I did not like the only time we actually got that. I think you were there for this, Bacon. Was not Everon. It was the other one. Uh, where we ended up crash landing in the literal middle of the fucking Russian base, and we ended up calling it Fallen Angel, taking shelter in the fucking uh in the actually in the storage area, and of course they sent the Rangers in, and those guys actually have fun just fighting their way just to come get us. And that was the only time I saw any realism. From then on, it was nothing more than oh, instead of doing research, TP, fucking
It
TP
is
and
crazy for
GM
a
was like,
unit that prides themselves on realism, right?
that's the fucking irony in it.
Right. But yeah, basically some of the thing I was trying to say was like, now that we're independent, we feel like we can focus more on realistic aviation based scenarios, um, instead of just serving at the whim of the regiment. So we can just kind of do our own thing, do more realistic aviation scenarios. Like we're gonna try to invite other units But I mean, worst comes to worst. I mean, I can use GM to give infantry people commands. Get in, get out of the helicopter. It's a lot easier to automate that.
But and that's what Milsim should be. It should be all about realism. Like, how the fuck are you gonna pride yourself on realism and being realistic when you're pulling this shit off? But gentlemen, Pastel, that like you guys seem like you came out on top of this whole thing.
Right. I mean, we lost some personnel, but again, not a ton.
Yeah, the
Um,
latest I
oh,
seen was the member named by the name of Cloudy was put in charge as the new like as the new CO for SOAR on their side.
mhm.
You got
Yeah.
Cloudy, Refined Rat, and Storm, who are apparently the new three wise men, or so-called air quotes.
I mean,
And it's like,
I'm not wanting to like shame the current leadership that are over there, but I mean, like if you know those people, you know what the outcome's going to be, and I would much rather like focus on what we're going to do now and how we're going to be better and how we're going to
Storm crashes
grow to
6
what we
birds in
want to
a day.
be,
God damn.
rather than like focus on bringing them down because they'll do that themselves. I'd rather focus on us, if that makes sense.
So what can we like? What can we like see coming from 160th in the coming future?
We're definitely going to be partnering up with other Milsims, trying to do more aviation focused deployments. We've thrown out the idea of, and we're planning on doing it sometime this month. It's like a 48-hour deployment or maybe a 24-hour deployment, but basically where um, the only person that has to be on all the time is we need to have someone there running GM, someone from the S3 shop to be able to come up with scenarios. Um, and then at certain times, like I don't know, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., at certain times we'll have the big ops and kind of have a more story driven deployment scenario, but making sure that we always have something to do because we want to prioritize kind of I want to say the role play aspect is part of it, but the just kind of the environment of a deployment. Because when I first joined the regiment, I remember it felt this way, but then soon after I joined, it kind of went away. And what I'm talking about is, it used to be there was a saying like, "Oh, deployment is always happening when you load in the server. Always be acting serious. Always do this. Always do that." But the way it quickly became was, especially when it was the 2 week long deployments and then they shortened it down to 1 week. But it was just a series of ops. But then before and after the ops, people were goofing off
I've seen that.
and not really taking it seriously. Um, and it also just wasn't that dynamic. It didn't feel that organic. So we're trying to focus on um, being able a more organic experience, and we're going to try to invite other units in on that.
I mean,
We'll
some
try
of
it
this
out.
stuff is happening right now. In the past couple days alone, I mean, we've allied with 3 other units in the Armory Forger Milsim community. Obviously, I'm not going to out them for OPSEC reasons, but I mean, some of this shit is taking place currently. So, I mean, I think we're really excited. The user command teams and the people in 160th are really excited um, for things to come, you know?
Yeah, I would honestly like to see you guys do more and like actually do like kind of be like do more than you did when you were in the 75th sword. It's like because that'll be kind of instead of doing the whole sitting around for let's say like an hour or so just to do 15 minutes of fucking operations for spool up, go out, deliver people, and they say, okay, we're done with you. It's like, you actually get to do more than just all that shit. Kind of gets me excited to
Right.
see what the future holds for you guys.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Just focusing on ourselves and not, you know, asset Rex. Where do the Rangers need us? So we can just sit around and be taxi drivers for 10% of the time and then just sit around 90% of the time.
I know the one thing I hated when they're sitting around pretty much like I'd literally parts some of the points. I would have my headset on, but like I have my mic muted. I'd just be taking a quick nap, and then all of a sudden I hear someone say, "All right, we gotta go." It's like, shit, we're going. Okay, that's how bad it got. Cause when I joined, so I didn't really expect that. I thought we'd be doing a whole lot of shit. It's like I'd be using a minigun more often than I fucking would like, but. Like we're using a minigun barely any times, and then I start getting itchy trigger finger, and no one likes it when Squid gets an itchy trigger finger because everyone becomes a target.
Mm.
I mean,
So
and to be fair, this is like the tip of the iceberg. There's so much shit that I wish. I mean, we could be here for hours on top of hours talking about things. Like I remember one time we were called Special Operations Aviation's RSLR, you know, slur for people with mental disabilities. Like it's just constant shit, and it's not even like being called it. It's being called it and having that double standard of us not being able to do it back. You know.
so if people from like representatives from other units want to reach out to you and like I guess say ally with you and whatnot, what would they need to do?
Hell yeah, good question. So we have our own Discord server called 168 Support and Tasking. You don't have to be an ally in order to receive support from us. We do have an ally system where like you just get priority over non-allies essentially, um, and that's more if you're interested in us being your primary aviation asset, right? Like if you have a unit out there and you don't have any aviation assets, you can become an ally and rely on us with the return of like if you do have somebody interested in aviation, you'll send them our way essentially.
And
If it's good with you, I mean, I could post a link in the chat.
um, if you want, we could actually you could um. Once we get this on YouTube, we'll include it in the comments, and not in the comment section, but in the description.
Right
We're
on.
gonna need to
There's a
get
lot of
a permanent link for that,
yeah,
JP.
yeah, we do. That's money.
All right. In the chat, post it in the Discord chat as well. But
I mean, this link's
Mickey,
only good
Mickey,
for 7 days.
huh?
This link is only good for 7 days because of fucking dumb Discord rules.
But Mickey Mouse did bring up a good question in chat. Say someone from, I guess they just leave rent like they're real, so they want to do high speed shit, but they want instead of doing like infantry shit, high speed infantry, but they want to change the scenery. If they wanted to join you,
Right.
where would they need to go?
Right. So you can join the Discord and just ask for it. But we do have a separate Discord for our in processing. It has a short application for a Google form. Kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. If your views align with those of the one Sitiev, you'll get admitted into the enlisted combat skills selection course, which is a 1 day course. It's kind of like a advanced individualized training. We teach you the job, we teach you advanced land nav. We also have a really good YouTube video. If you guys are interested in like learning the basics of what it takes to be a night stalker in the 160th.
Yeah, we could include that link in the description as well.
Hell yeah.
Now, I remember, so like the whole was it ESCCS?
ECSSC.
I can never get that fucking shit right.
Yeah, I know it's a mouthful.
Okay. I remember it used to be like what 3 days, right?
Mhm. I mean, it used to be like way back when. It used to be 2 weeks,
I know when I went through that shit, it was like what 4 days. You got day zero, then
something like that. Yeah.
all the
Two
way.
days a week.
Uh, actually, my buddy says it's called Green Platoon now. I guess you're going back to Green Platoon.
I mean, I saw something. We just haven't met on it. Like, I did see the name change. We just haven't sat down and had a conversation about it.
Uh, but gentlemen, like
Hmm.
again, we extend the. I know we extend the invitation to 75th again. Should they actually respond and want to hold a sit down, would you three be inclined to like, or would you actually like to uh, be a part of that? That way, just
I mean,
sit down, hash it out, or I guess
yeah, I
say
mean,
fact check
100%.
whatever they say.
100%. I mean, there's very little you can do in a scenario like this where it's just a one-way conversation. In order to strive for like actual change and for people to get the whole story, I mean, you can't just have a one-sided story. But
Okay.
like, we have nothing to hide. We always come with receipts. We always come with our evidence to back up our statements. Um, but yeah, we'd be down to come back and have that conversation.
Okay. So anyone from Sonic, I know Bird likes to read our tweets and be the silent viewer, but balls in the court. Balls in 75th court. It's right there for the pickings. You gonna pick it up? I mean, that's why it's because I honestly want the other side of the other side of the coin. Just like explain yourselves. Like, how the fuck did this happen? How can you let this happen? And just go from there. It seems that
I mean,
ejects
to
to
add,
make sure you have a mouth.
in my honest opinion, like I really do wish it happens. I doubt it will happen though. And if it does happen, I really do doubt it would be respectful. Because the night that I was talking with Brewer, kind of giving him a heads up on the status of 160th, he started giving like backhanded comments. At one point, he
I
said like,
I will
"Oh well."
I will
Mhm.
admit to the when I got word of it, I thought it was already done, and like then I just started like, oh, he knows. It's like, the fuck you mean he knows? I thought he already knew. That's when it kind of like dawned on me. I told I forgot who the hell I was talking to. I told him to reach out to you guys, and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry for like I honestly jumped the gun on that one. Because like I said, I thought it was done. I thought everything was pretty much done. Everyone was separated. You're in one corner, they're in their corner. It's the way it was. But honestly, that was not the case. So I do apologize for that.
I don't think he did anything wrong. It was just
But
like his response of like backhanded comments. Like he straight up said to my face, "Oh well, if you want, I'll just ban all of the MPs, and once it's can hold security or RASP."
it just,
Like
that's not the.
I'm just saying, like
Jesus,
that level of
I'm fucking. I'm a Navy vet. I didn't. It's like that's just like fucking retarded.
Mm.
You just like
Yeah.
get your guys in line. Fuck, that's all you need to do
We
is pretty
we
much.
were under the belief that regiment and like other battalion leadership just wasn't invested in like conversation that solves problems. I mean, that's an example of it. Was I don't think that I actually some of it did stem from regiment stuff, but a lot of it was just a lack of willingness to address the problem from regiment leadership.
But, but anyway, gents, called it for call it today. Is there anything like any final words you want to say to folks who are listening?
I mean, I really do hope you guys were able to get some context on everything that happened with the 75th and 160th. And I mean, if you're interested, like we said earlier, if you're interested in like getting some support in your aviation assets, we do have the capabilities and the training to back y'all up. Just let us know. And I appreciate you inviting us here, Salty, and letting us kind of air out some of the stuff that has been happening and speak our minds.
You're good. I mean, that's what MRT is all here about, man. MRT is all about just speaking my own fucking. As long as it doesn't get too insane, everything's good.
Well, DJ hasn't talked in a little bit, so I think we're okay.
I mean, what? What do you want? What do you? Yeah, I mean,
don't
hey,
get him riled up. Don't get him riled up.
I can't talk on reasons I am strictly abiding by law, so we don't get in trouble. But I highly doubt they will ever come to the table to speak with us. Period. That is all.
Well,
To what the one just said, I wouldn't say they're a mafia. I think they're more of a cult, but you know, that's up to personal interpretation.
you donate money to them, it seems that they get favor, but I don't know. We shall see if they respond. Hopefully, they respond with accepting the invitation. Like we said, balls in their court. So everyone else, I mean, thank you all for taking your time to join us today for the stream. I know it's kind of last minute. We appreciate taking your time out of your busy days. Don't forget on June 6th we have our stream with Clan Arga out of South America. They are an Argentinian Milsim. So we are expanding internationally to talk with our brothers down south. So anyway, enjoy y'all Monday. You take care.